¿Cómo está? I just threw my sweater on because it is so cold down here. So I'm like, great, I'm trying to get my sweater.
That was hilarious. I was watching. I'm like, holy crap, she really got that on there pretty quickly. I'm impressed.
I know.
I mean, I was like, you throwing a blanket on? And I'm like, and I'm like, whoa, she's quick. I'm like, not bad for a 30-second counter, you know?
Right on. So, hi, Tanya and Margaret. Hello.
So yes. Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode with your host, Adam and Debbie. We are Beyond the Silence. And it is another Wednesday on June 9th, 2021. So glad you could be with us this evening.
You're so crazy.
You know, you got to have some fun with this stuff. I mean, you know.
I know.
Who's not going to have some fun with this? But hey, Jeff. Hey,
Sharon and Jeff.
But yeah, so we do have a guest on this evening. I was almost going to say this afternoon, but I don't know why I would have thought afternoon. It's definitely evening.
It is.
I should know that by now, but
even though it's daylight outside, the sun is bright and shiny. It's
true.
I'm freezing to death. It's like 100 outside, and I'm so cold because I'm in the basement, and the freaking basement is just freezing.
Well, you know, it's those lower levels. They keep the colder air in there a little bit longer. Terrible. I mean, I'm in the basement too, and it's cooler down here, but I'm okay right now.
Yeah. So. Yeah. I think it's like 60 in my basement.
Yeah, I probably would say probably about 68, 60, you know, upper 60s down here, but
freaking freezing.
Yeah. But so Debbie, I mean, you know, we do have to talk just a brief moment because you obviously had something very special happen the other day.
I did.
You know, it obviously, you know, it is special. It is another little notch, if you will, you know, or a little pendant that you would need to like wear around a charm bracelet or a necklace and things. So what happened?
I'm a granny for number 7.
Yeah.
I'm a number 7 granny now. Jackie,
yes.
Baby. Her baby.
Mr. Lucas, if I'm correct.
Daryl, yep.
Lucas. Got a little man. A little man running around.
Yep. He's a sick little guy right now. He's unfortunately he's having some issues with his lungs. They're not sure if he has pneumonia or if he's underdeveloped lungs, but they don't think because he was 38 weeks, so they don't think it's underdeveloped, but they've got him in the NICU and where he's getting some good care, and hopefully she came home today, and he has about 8 days of you know, recuperating. We really hope we can just get him out of there soon. So
but he's in the best place for it though, so I mean, you know, he's going to get treated. He's at least already there, and they'll be on top of everything. So he'll pull through, because I mean, we've got a lot of great people that are chiming in and wishing him well. And that's, you know, always the thing that you know, we all do. We all come together. We all send love and light, and
that's what I need. I need prayers for my
including you, because obviously it's stressful on Grandma as well.
Stressful on Jackie and everybody. It's been a stressful situation. So, I mean, she was in labor for 3 days almost, and it was just unbelievably long. But
it took a while.
Yeah, when he was ready to come out, he shot out like a basketball. So he was like one of those 6-minute deliveries, you know. She put like 4 times and out he came. So, that was good, but you know, he came out so fast.
That's because it took a while.
Right.
It took a long time to get to that point. And then once everything was ready, said, let's go.
Yeah. And I think they said something that he came out so fast, they didn't think that he was able to get all the fluid out of his lungs. Because, you know,
that's possible.
I don't know a whole lot about all that. So I've only had 4 kids.
It'll get worked out, and he'll be just fine. He'll be fine.
I'm not worried. He's in good hands. So in this crazy world we live in.
So yes, so as everybody says, congratulations,
Thank you,
Grandma. So that's awesome.
Mhm.
We appreciate that. Thank you, everybody, for saying, a lot of congratulations and love and healing. So
Hi, Elizabeth.
appreciate
My
it.
goodness.
Super, super cool.
Elizabeth's here. I haven't seen her in so long.
Well, pandemic, right?
And I got my barn done, my studio. Now, it's no longer a barn looking thing. It's a studio now. So I'll post some pictures on the Beyond the Silence page.
Cool.
It's very cool. And then I have some metal artwork I'm doing all around it. It's white. So it's really studio looking. So
sweet.
Ron, I sent you a message. You didn't reply.
Shame on you, Ron.
Shame on you, Ron. Yeah, Ron.
So we're not going to delay too much longer because we want to bring our guest in.
Oh, I had a boy, by the way.
Well,
oh yeah, Lucas. I guess that
Lucas. I got the name in there, so that's why I threw it in there.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
When he said, "Oh boy," I'm like, "Oh, it was a boy."
Yes.
Okay.
But we do want to get our guest in here because we do have a fascinating topic that was actually really cool because we were talking about it at the end of last week and especially after the show mostly. And Debbie was not sure of it. And and I wasn't sure when I first heard it too, but I thought I'm like, I know the perfect person to bring on. I'm like, and we'll just see if she's available because I mean, she isn't. I know she's busy. She's got a handful of things going on. She's and it's great. But and so like when she was like, hey, let me check, and then she had to pull some strings, and I'm like, okay. I'm like, she's in. I'm like, all right, let's do this thing. So I'm like, so I was excited. So
yeah, because I've never heard of this before. So
right. So it's going to be fascinating. So yeah, we're going to dive into a lot of things. So I hope you guys are ready for this. And if you haven't heard about this, definitely be ready, be open for this, because let me wait until you hear, when I kind of throw some things in there about, how it was for me hearing it and how I've really gotten into this. So, but first, let's do the real thing here and bring our guest, Bonnie Burd, in. Hello, Bonnie.
Hello. Hi, Bonnie.
How are you guys doing?
Good. How are you?
Doing good.
Like we haven't talked for the last half hour, right?
I know.
Yeah, she just didn't call in, gang. I mean, she's been in our green room, just hanging out and we tested everything real quickly. So we even set all these plans out about everything we want to discuss this evening. So it's really professional tonight, truly.
I was completely left out, so I will not be professional.
What are you talking about? You were there. You were looking at your phone. You were looking at your phone, so you weren't even listening.
Right.
You yell at me sometimes when I'm not paying
attention. Baby clothes.
Congratulations, by the way.
Thank you. So yeah, I mean, I was included. I'm just giving you a hard time, but I'm never professional anyway, so it really doesn't matter.
We have fun. If you and Bonnie knows this, because we, especially if you guys have checked out like her one show, which I will plug right now, is the Hearts of Change Collective. Mm-hmm. They do shows on Monday nights, and it is, we've been on there. Debbie and I have been on there. I've been on there, and even when I watch the shows, I mean, I already know what's going on, and I don't even have to be a part of it because I know what they're doing. Because when they pop on the screens, you can immediately tell if they've been joking hysterically backstage, which is great. And you can see Bonnie laughing because she knows sometimes the comedy and how everybody's energy is just over the top when they're getting ready to go live, and even with technical issues, sometimes that's always hilarious. So.
For sure, we're the king and queen of technical issues.
Yeah, we used to be
the pop-in queen.
Yeah, we did. We used to be technical issue daily,
right?
We are very fortunate that we
all
have
the different platforms we've tried and stuff.
Yeah,
but,
yeah. This is a good one. This is a good platform.
Bonnie, go ahead and just let everybody know, like, all your credentials, and then tell everybody what who you are, as far as what are the things that you do and provide.
Okay, I'm a wellness practitioner, and that includes a lot of things like hypnotherapy and a lot of things. And I do Akashic Record Reads. That's one of the things I do, and I also do. That's another weird thing I do is toe reading and ear reading.
What?
And yeah, and then toe reading is just like palm reading. It's the same thing.
Okay.
Yeah, the same. It's just like reflexology. It's the
okay. And
it's not as weird as it sounds. And the ear is the same way. It's just like reflexology. You can read by when you're doing, you kind of use like a dental thing and you kind of rub, and the person will have soreness where they're holding on to things.
Really?
So it's like your chakras are in your ear.
That is fascinating. Okay, keep going.
Yeah. So I'm also, as we have on here, the host at the New Earth AC, and also work with David and Rob and Nicole over there. And we do a lot of unity circles, have people on, do a lot of shows similar to what you guys do. Mm-hmm. And, just to teach people tips and tools and things to help with the ascension and stuff like that. And personally, I work the most in the Akashic Records, helping people. It's a therapy. So I work in the quantum. What you do is you take the person to the seed of the problem that they have, whatever it is that they repeat over and over again. You go to that lifetime where the first energy originated, and then you see that lifetime. You heal it, release it, and it's connected to in all directions in time, like the roots of the tree, to every other energy that same energy is connected to, and you clear that, which then in turn clears it through your DNA. So you're actually doing a healing for your family too when you do it. And so that's Ignite Quantum Healing. That's what I do most of the time. But I also oh geez.
I know.
That's enough.
She's got quite a bit, let me tell you.
Yeah.
Wait, but you didn't even talk about your language.
Well, true, but
light language. Yeah, I use the light language in all of my healing, all the modalities, everything that I do. I'm also a Reiki Master teacher. I teach Reiki, and I use light language with attunements and stuff like that. So it kind of like weaves its way into everything that I do.
That's interesting, because Bonnie, that's what actually I wanted to kind of highlight to people, especially the ones that are watching or that they're curious of, developing their own abilities and things. Obviously, there's a lot of what you do. You didn't do this all like right in the beginning. You obviously started somewhere, and then everything kind of just lined up along your path and journey, correct?
Yeah, correct. Because first I went to do the Wellness Practitioner, and I learned hypnotherapy, life coaching, which I forgot to say earlier, and those kind of things. And then it kind of like turned into a modality, because the hypnotherapy turned into regression, which turned into Akashic Records, which amplifies with the light language. So it's like my guides have just been kind of sort of bringing me around to where they needed me to hit what I needed to learn in order to bring it into full circle. And I'm sure they're not done yet because they're busy. But I've been trying to keep up. That's what I've been trying to do.
And but that is so true. I mean, because even for me, it was so very like, we were just doing one thing, and then finally other things have popped in, and little by little, more and more things have just like been adding to the thing, this whole big conglomerate of exciting things to provide to everybody that's out there that's open to it or needs it. So I love that. I love that.
All of a sudden you're doing a healing, and you're pulling the person's whole chakra out, and you're poking it with light language, and you're like, how did I get here?
I say that about my day most days. How did I get here?
Right.
What the heck?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, at least they did a little bit at a time for us, but somebody hasn't seen us in 10 years, turns around and goes, what is she on to now? Oh my God.
I know. I get that all the time. Except because I'm very hands-on crafty. So everything I'm doing, and everybody's like, oh my God, are you knitting? Are you doing clay? Are you pouring ceramics? Are you doing paper? Are you crocheting? So yeah, I have my hands in all that, and I keep busy because that if I didn't have all that going on, I'd probably be sitting where you are now with all the other stuff going on. So yeah. I need to keep myself down here for a while. So
exactly, that's your grounding word.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
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 For
That's
sure.
awesome.
Yeah.
So obviously, like I said, we let's just jump right in because everybody's probably interested and ready to hear about it. But Bonnie, in your best interpretation, your best definition, how would you describe light language to those of us that might not even have a clue what you're talking about?
It's quantum energy. It's keys and codes that are designed for healing and to help you heal, to help you open up your gifts, and just for well-being, more or less. And you can either do it through the voice, like I do it with the hands. I do a mix of the voice and hands, or you can do it through dance. And you feel it. You feel the energy. You feel it come through. And like Debbie was talking about earlier when we were back behind stage, when you're doing mediumship, you're actually reading light language.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, there's so many different ways that you can do it. You can write it. You can draw it. You can make it through art. I know someone who makes it through clay, and it's just any way that you're the conduit. You're like the vessel who moves the energy. You're even doing it when you do Reiki. It's the beginnings of it. You're channeling energy. You're channeling divine energy.
Yeah.
And so, yeah.
And I mean, what was, and for you, we talked about it is how did you even realize it was something that, you needed to do, or how did it find you, I should say?
Well, the first time I heard it, I was young. I was in a church, and they were doing, they call it tongues. And it was like, it just all went off. It was a Pentecostal church. And I was like, whoa, I don't know what's going on here. So that's the first time I heard it. And I didn't understand it. But it makes sense to me now how it happens, because when you're in prayer, when you're in meditation, and you're being grateful and joyful, that's when how easy it flows through. But as a child, I was like, what is that? I have no idea. But so then as I started, I was teaching Reiki and I was doing all my things. I would every once in a while get a reading, and someone would say to me, well, you should be speaking light language already. And I'm like, what's that?
Right.
I mean, I really, I didn't put the two together as of hearing the tongue, people do it when I was younger. I was just like, what's that? And then they explained to me what it is. And then I started looking on the internet going, what is this stuff that I'm supposed to be doing? Right. So I started learning about it. And then the more I learned about it, the more I realized that you have to do your shadow work. And when you release what it is you need to release so that you can hold that energy, then eventually it'll come through. And anybody can do it. Everybody can do it. It's just, whoever was doing my reads was meaning that I should have done more shadow work at that time that I hadn't done. And so everybody and anybody can do light language in any way, shape, or form. And so what happened was I lead a meditation circle every Tuesday, and I started hearing, I would tone before on the way there. I'd be driving on the way there, and I would just tone to raise the energy before I got there. Mm-hmm. And I started hearing light language in the background when I was toning, but I just thought,
when you're toning, are you toning, or are you listening to toning?
I was using my voice. I would tone. I just go, like A-E-I-O-U, but you just elongate it.
Okay.
And so I was just doing that to raise the energy, to breathe and raise energy before I got to class. And I would hear it in the background, and I'd be like, nah, I'm just hearing things. And so I just kept driving, because it sounded Native American, so I was like, no, I'm just hearing things. So I just keep driving. And then when I got there, a couple of my students said to me finally, I hear language in the background of the English. I hear like Native American in the background. And I went, oh my God, I hear it too. And they're like, wow. And so then I was like, oh, there's something going on here. Because if they're hearing it and I'm hearing it, something's going on. So then I started talking to my guide. So, okay, so how do I bring that forth? Am I supposed to be doing this? And I got the yes. How do I bring it forth? And so they started working with me about, first a lot of shadow work ended up happening, things that I was hanging on to, I was letting go of. And then finally, I was in the car and I was toning, and then all of a sudden something Native American came out of me, and I went, holy crap. Did I just do that? I should have recorded it. I don't even know if I did it.
So when you say you're doing shadow work, what do you mean by that?
Shadow work is things that hurt your heart, that you've hung on to, that you've stuffed down in, that you haven't been able to release. And a lot of times it's stuff that you don't even know is there.
Mm-hmm.
It'll start coming to the surface and you'll remember it and you'll go, wow, I thought I let go of that. Or maybe I let go a piece of that.
So when you say you're doing your shadow work, how are you doing that? Like, you know what I'm saying? Because I know there's a few people that would really be interested in that. I mean, is that something that somebody does for you, or is that something that, why don't you quit that?
No, but
I'm just asking the questions so that others can have the answer.
But this is perfect, because after she's done, I can definitely slip in, because I have experience at this within the last 2 weeks. So that's why this will be perfect, because you'll get her answer and then I can show you how I did it, which then, can.
He's so excited. Can you tell how excited he is?
Okay. So for me, it was through meditation, through the breath, through releasing. When you felt emotional and you feel I would journal, why do I feel this way? What's happening? Figure it out. I would figure out what it is. And then I would breathe it through and release it, and look at the whole situation. Not just look at my point of view. Look at everybody's point of view. Why is it that I'm still hanging on to this? Doesn't make sense. And then you finally get to the bottom of it. But if you're having trouble, like a lot of people do, and I have, and you just can't release it, you're just hanging on to it, and you don't know why you can't release it. Then you call someone, that I can't call myself, but I can help people through. I can help people with the Akashic records and doing the quantum healing, or I would call a friend that would do something similar to help me if I was stuck. But it's just, and it's mostly forgiveness. It's mostly forgiveness.
Right.
Yeah. It really is.
One of the hardest things that we can do is to forgive, and not only other people but ourselves. So it is a lot of work. It's not just like,
exactly,
okay, yep, I forgive you. Yep, I forgive myself. Let's move on. It doesn't work that way. No. So
because your heart has to really let it go. You're not talking to your mind. It's
right.
Your heart.
Right.
And so, and also it's not even just this one lifetime. You have aspects in every lifetime that you also have to in turn help release and let go of the shadow.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's why when you do the Akashic record work and you remove that energy from all directions, then you don't have to deal with it again.
Right.
The karma and everything's cleared. But for me, that's how I did all of mine. And I would do that because once you open your records, your guides will come to you and they'll show you a lifetime. They'll show it to you and then, help you work through it and release it. So you don't always remember it because I do it in dream time. But with just about anybody that I've ever worked with, I'll tell them, I'll warn them. I said, it's not over. They're going to keep working with you and help you release. This is just the beginning.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Right. All right, Adam.
Okay, Adam.
Well, no, but it's not to take away, but it's just to show and help again, just answer what you're saying.
Absolutely.
I, recently I just wrapped up working from home because I was backfilling in for my normal day job stuff. And so, I have literally, I got trauma, from working this help desk type of job before, caused me all kinds of true and diagnosed, anxiety and panic attacks, and, sleeping, a total of 3 hours a night, and then just constantly felt like, being punched in the chest, and, among tons of other things. And, anytime I would do this backfilling, all those memories would come flooding back, and I'd get major, panic attacks, and I'm like freaking out, even though nothing bad has happened. It's just all those memories that traumatized me back then. And we're only talking, this was, between 2015 and the, it was about almost 2 full years. So from 2015 to 2016. And I, it was just killing me, and I couldn't take it anymore. And somebody just kind of reminded me, it's like, well, you probably should release that. And I'm like, really? Like, and I'm thinking, I've never like really released anything, obviously, but they're like, well, you're capable of doing it. You do enough things. You've worked with, all your guides, angels, they're all there to help you and support you. Just do it. And I'm like, all right. And then I set the intention, which was key. I want this off of me, and I'm going to do it however we got to do this. And so, like Bonnie just said, I went into meditation. I called in everybody, just like, let's do this. Pull this out. I do not want this on me anymore. It doesn't belong to me. What happened in the past is in the past. I don't need this anymore. It's just done. And I'm setting this all up. They understood it. They're going to work, pulling things out of me, in my third eye and everything. And I'm just watching them do this stuff. I even go like, second, third person mode, where I'm looking at them doing it from a distance. And I'm like, I'm really pulling stuff off of me, And so finally, as soon as
about time.
Yes. And when and to finish it up, I mean, I end the meditation because I'm like, okay, this is cool. And, and I'm already, starting to sink back into myself, and I'm already noticing big differences. And by the time I opened my eyes, I was pain-free, and I'm like, oh my gosh, and I'm like blown away, because then I'm trying to rationalize everything. I'm like, thinking a few cuss words, going, holy blank, that really worked. But I was dead set on it. But it just goes to show you guys, we can do this, and you can get help from people that do this. And so I knew that my guides, creator, and just, they were all going to show up because I asked them to, and they knew that I didn't need this on me anymore. And so I did that a week ago, Saturday. And then this whole past week, I was fine. I didn't wake up. I slept till my alarm was waking me up. So it is possible, and it is much needed for anybody that wants to do this type of stuff like we're getting into right now.
Absolutely.
So
all you have to do is ask. That's the funny part. People just don't realize how. Be willing to let it go.
Right.
Yeah.
That's all. It's just so cool, because it, I had no expectations. Like, I knew what I wanted done, but I had no idea how they were going to do it, what I was going to see, what I was going to feel. And then just watch them, like, they're just pulling on me like I'm like in surgery or something. It was just like, what are they doing? But I'm like, this is awesome. And it just was so cool.
Could you imagine all of those layers of emotion and all those layers of attachments from everybody else's emotion, because you've never done it before. You never released it.
No.
Wow.
No.
That had to be, you had to have felt like you weighed 100 pounds less.
And even then to be able to then do the rest of the job, because I had to work then all last week, and then Monday, Tuesday of this week. And it was just like, something was happening. Maybe it was a little stressful. I was like, I'm cool.
Wow,
it didn't
cool.
And so it was just so mind blowing. But like I said, and I think because this was also at the same time that, and this is why I'll segue in to get back to Bonnie, is that, they were, did a healing show, and there was light language being done, and it was weird because I already started pulling some of this stuff off of me. I've started to hear a few words popping in, and I was telling Bonnie about this the other day. I'm like, I'm starting to hear a couple things going on.
Long before you be either speaking it or something.
Right. So I'm like,
trying to hear it,
and it's just mind blowing because I'm going, but like she said earlier, I mean, once you start pulling this stuff off of you that you don't need, you're not opening yourself up, you're opening your heart up, and all of a sudden now these words are popping in. Now it's not full sentences, but there's some words that I've heard, and I'm like, what the heck does that mean? I don't know. It sounds weird, but I feel good about this,
Yeah. Well, it feels more like love. If it feels like love, that's all it feels like. And with me, I don't know how it works with everybody else, because everybody's language works so differently. You can talk to 20 people and they're all going to say something different. But with me, I'll start speaking it, and sometimes the meanings, like a couple words of English will pop into my mind, so that I know that they're confirming what I'm feeling is what it means.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. That's so.
All right. So can you do a little bit of your light language?
Sure. Let's set an intention, because that's the way my guides work. They give you what you ask for. So let's set the intention that whatever energy comes through, it's for everyone's highest best and what they need in this very now moment. Okay. So everybody, you just take a deep breath and you just relax. We're going to connect to the mother, connect to the father, and by all the archangels of light, all the masters of light to hold space for us. Just relax. Nakuto mokoya takasha madikata makomuko yata ketaka makodo mokoya nariata makuto makuto mokushimaka eta makuto mokoya takasha makuto mokoyo maka tukun no makia nakashik nakata makuto moko makai kamoko mokoya taya etikanuko wakata Tamakutu Makayataka, Itamakuko Makada Makunu Mayata, Itakoshkumakada, Akatakushkumakata, Ainamokua, Itakakata Makuto Mawuka Yataka, Ishkumakuto Mawa, Itakawuku Mayataka, Nukuyata, Nintino Makuto Makaya. So they're saying, take a deep breath. They're working on your heart. Just release some of this energy that you're holding on to. Tukutuko pakataka hotukutuko bayata tukubukutuko ataka otukubukutuko ayata itakawutuko ayata kukutuko bakayanaka itukumuko yanakaya satamoko ayakaya kutumoko kata ayata ibekata omokota. Take a deep breath and just release. For everything that you've been holding on to this week, just let it run down your legs like the river into the earth. And just relax and feel your body expand into this beautiful energy. And I see the Christed light coming down. We're going to send this out. Take a deep breath. Every system, every cell relaxing. They're clearing all your chakras out. Release into the light. And so it is.
So that was weird. Okay, because I found myself nodding in an affirmation, but I was watching you because I was interested in, you say you talk with your hands. It almost looks like sign language.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, but I don't know sign language. They just do what they do.
Right.
Yeah.
Interesting. Very.
Yeah, and I think that's because it's our original language, and I think that's how they talked. They talked with their hands, and then the word would mean partially with their hands, because it's syllables and symbols would mean a whole story. So they didn't have to speak words like we do, because because they had consciousness connection. And so all they had to do was bring forth that energy to connect everyone and to speak to each other.
And even for those, and even for those that have never heard this before, so this is maybe your very first time hearing light language, just hold on to this. Okay. Don't sit there and just be like, well, that was nuts, and then walk away. Just remember this episode. And even if you need to, watch it back. But the thing is you've allowed this to now enter, and it's now going to start kind of messing with you in a good way, though. But you're going to notice things like, even then, is the first sound that Bonnie made, like, all I felt was I felt this cool rush of tingling sensations right over my heart, like perfectly right over it. Just all I felt was this tickling motion. I'm like, oh yeah, we're in there now.
Yeah, nice. They're talking about forgiveness, so they went straight for the heart.
Yeah.
For everyone's highest best.
Right.
Yeah,
right. So I was going to tell everyone too that light language is done, like you said, in so many different ways. Mediumship, I really believe mediumship is a form of light language. After doing the research that I've done, and I was going to show everybody behind me that this woman that also does light language does it through writing. And this is like some of her stuff.
I'm going to zoom in, guys, even though it's going to block out some of it, but you'll just see a little bit more up close. I'm just going to do that real quick.
So
you can feel the energy coming off of that.
But just so you can see how that looks.
It's just, it's very, very, I have goosebumps. Like I'm not that kind of person. So I'm a skeptic to the end. I really am.
And that was what was fascinating, Debbie, when it came up, after the show last week. I'm like, Debbie's going to love this. If she allows it to get into her heart.
Yeah. It's different. It's so different because I always approach things as a skeptic. I don't believe anybody. I don't. And that's how I am. I mean, you have to prove to me that you're going to make me feel a certain way, or you're going to make me see something that I am not going to understand. And then we'll go from there. So yeah, when I saw this and I was just like, oh, this is pretty interesting.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, that's kind of weird. Like, why is this so weird?
Well, for me, for my guides explained to me that it's their voice, because my guides are the scenes. Yashua has been with me since I was a little girl, because I came in wide open, and I was. You ever seen Sixth Sense? That's how it was for me. I was things standing at the end of my bed, and and I didn't understand it. So they all came in and they helped me get through that. And I kind of closed it off until I was like in my early teens, around there, and then it's all started opening up again. But the light language is all of their voices in unity. So it's all their scenes in unity. So that's why a lot of times it just sounds like sounds. It doesn't sound like language. But every once in a while, one of them will step forward, and you feel like Yashua, and my heart says Yashua. I know it's him. And it's real soft and sweet and kind, because he's gonna make me cry, because that's the way his voice. He's like in the way I'm saying, but that's the way his voice comes through. It's just so beautiful. And so does Mary Magdalene. They have that same sort of loving, heart swelling energy. So yeah, for me, that's how it works for me.
Yeah,
that's great.
Keys and codes. Like say I'm doing a healing. It is noises, because they're like pounding away at whatever's stuck there. So I will be going, sometimes it's like tap, 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 a bunch of noises until they can get it to shift and move. So yeah.
That is very cool.
It's just so cool. And that's the thing, is like, that's why I said, for those that have never heard this before, I mean, definitely, hold on to this, and just, if you need to, there's all kinds of other great shows. I mean, even then, if you guys go back and watch, some of the Hearts of Change Collective healing shows they've been doing now, monthly, they've always have had somebody on there and or Bonnie doing some sort of light language for everybody, because they'll have, you know, at least 6 people on. I mean, obviously Jen, you know, Kathy and Bonnie are the main host, and then you should bring 3 other healers on there, and everybody just kind of gets together, but it all ties together. So if you want more experiences like that, definitely go over to their Hearts of Change Collective page, and you can go to those healing shows, and those shows will still apply. And I know I'm taking words out of Bonnie's mouth, but they still will help you. Even if you listen to them back, you can go back a couple months. They're still going to be hugely beneficial for you. So if you want to hear more of it,
you can go back years. It never leaves. The energy never leaves. So like somebody who's just awakening and the intention was to help somebody in their awakening, still go back and do those years and years. It's always, the energy's always going to be there.
Wow. Yeah, it definitely piqued my interest, I'll tell you. Yeah.
And the more you hear it, and that's why I was saying too, it's why if you want to go back and see other events that it's been happening, especially on their page, you know, the more you hear it, the more it just keeps coming out more and more. The more you understand it, you don't really hear the English version of it, but it's what you're feeling, like we talked about, what Bonnie described.
Like,
so it's really cool and for me, that's how it's been. Like the first time I heard it, I was, what is this weird, you know, sound?
Like it's more like your senses. You sense what it is they're trying to do. And what really got me was when he was on, when Adam was on, and we were doing the Hearts of Collective, and he was playing the flute.
Yeah.
It's what happens to me is my throat, whenever there's light language and they want me to speak it, it's almost like somebody went, and my vocal cords move, and I know it's coming. And he was playing the flute, and I thought, good Lord, he's in the middle of his thing. I'm not going to start yakking in the middle of his song. And then he finally finished, and then I said, can I go? You know, and I started doing it, but it all connected, because that was Quinn Yen that day.
Yeah.
And it was connecting with Jennifer, and everybody was just like, wow, that was just crazy, you know.
And it always ties in. I mean, that's what I love watching, you know, even when I'm just watching it and listening, and it's neat because and they talked about it this week because they did a healing show, and it was funny. It's like, there's always a theme that somehow pops up. Nobody knows what the theme is, but the theme happens during the middle of the healing.
It's fun. It's lots of fun.
Super fun. Yeah. It's awesome.
Oh, but it's just, you know, it's such a fascinating thing. And obviously, you know, definitely, you know, everybody go and do their own research like Debbie did. She was sitting there writing up, and, you know, found a cool, you know, backdrop for that. So that's cool. But, you know, there's all kinds of other people that do it. So, I mean, you know, check it out. You know,
and
I mean,
so many different ways. Even their light language is not all the same.
Right.
Some sound completely different. Then you should play the one lady that you sent me.
Right.
You have her play her real quick, and on your phone, or I can do it if you want.
Some of them, it sounds really like soft, and I mean,
it's
really weird, because you'll hear that they sound similar to other ones.
Let me see if I can find it, Adam.
If not, I got it.
Okay.
Where are you?
I got baby pictures. Baby pictures.
There she is.
You found her?
Yeah, we got her.
Okay. So this is going to sound completely different than what Bonnie just did. But hey, Kathleen and Harold and Nancy, I'm sorry you didn't get your notification. I don't know what's going on. Are you part? I don't know if you're on the following the haunted trail. You should see, because if you like that page, you'll probably get notifications on that. But I think you like our Beyond the Silence page, so I don't know why you're not getting okay, go ahead.
I'm just gonna hold it up to the
you can't show her?
I could.
Because I mean it's very interesting. See, I could probably do it better than you.
Okay. It'll work. Here.
All right. There we go.
There you go. Yeah, I know who this lady is. She's really
She's really. But Put yourself on your put it on you, Adam.
Kerkia pomposia fombaka satia shekias. Colirdial hantikia la hasofompocos. Kerkia setisha. Honakasashia fopo posia la hantikias. Kerkia mahatish. Kesiash. Gofompo kosia la hantekias. Kanikia she sia fompo sia tash. Kirkia sata la hantikia asisia fom pocas. Kirkisia shetikia seta lahas como satia. Que sia shefum poki sia teshia. Halaki se shatakia fumpo haseteshas. Kirka sia tashia sofumpo kalahatia. Kirkia sesh que sia masiash. Kosia shatatisia. Kosofumbo que satashisia la hantekias. Kanakashasa la hatishe kyamas. Kerkias setashes kufumbokas. Kerkia la hatakisha sentash. Kasyama hantakia shafambo totikia la hanterkia setiash. Kurrekia pasieta shes, konohombo, kososhofumbo, kia seta shes, kurkisia la hante, kia shasia, kokosia la hando piasatishas, kerkisia la hantokias, kashiasam muhonki kia sofampesias, kerkia la hante kia sofumbo, kusitash, kerkia mas esia eshofum. Alhandikia setishas kekia teshisia pompokas.
She is adorable.
She is adorable, isn't she?
Yeah.
I could feel it in my throat, my heart, and my ears. I felt energy, and I just felt love. I mean, everybody just does it differently, and hers sounds more like a conversation.
Right.
Yeah. Yep. Sometimes mine does come through that way, but it just depends how.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going to happen till I open my mouth.
Listen, this made the center of my palms burn. That's where I channel in the most while massaging.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Oh, wow. Yeah. And that's the thing is, so that's what we've been talking about. I mean, it's everybody's going to do it a little bit different, but it's going to affect everybody a little, differently. And that's the cool thing. I mean, it's just, that's the whole thing is we're all different, but we're all the same, but yet we all have a different way of being able to present the, the information, the love, the language to everybody. And I think that's cool because it makes sense. That's the whole thing is, and to see what Nancy's saying there is, do you understand it? Actually, yes, we do understand it.
I don't.
Not everybody will.
Well, I didn't understand it. Like if I was trying to translate that to English, I just felt the love and
it's weird. Yeah,
embodying your essence and who you are.
Yep.
That's what I felt.
Yeah. Some people, they say, can understand the messages coming through, and then they can decode them and write them down. But others, it's just a listening thing. It's just a listening and how it makes them feel. And you really go by gauging your total feeling of how you're interpreting it through your feelings. So
and just like when you're doing reads, you just know all of a sudden.
Yeah, it's a weird thing.
Yeah, it just you're like, oh, that's what they're saying, and then you just say it. Right. It's just weird how it works. But it's all loving. It all feels healing and benevolent. It's amazing.
Exactly.
I love it. God.
Funny.
And we still got some time, but Bonnie, just while I'm thinking about it, what's a good place to get in touch with you? If anybody's curious on any of the other services that you do provide, where can they reach you? And
I have a Facebook page, Ignite Quantum Healing, and I also have a web, Ignite Quantum Healing. You can find me there. Also, New Earth AC. I'm over there a lot, and the Hearts of Collective Change. And I also here in Richland, Michigan, I teach Reiki classes, Reiki, and I do Akashic reads over at Choices Unlimited in Richland. So,
yeah. Awesome. Nice.
Yeah.
So if you guys are interested, definitely check her out. You won't regret it.
You won't regret
it. But gosh, it's it's funny because you see in like this, you take all that information in, and I'm just like, I'm like all cool and chill, and it's like,
yeah, I'm just like not even wanting to talk anymore.
So I can, because the energy makes you so relaxed. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I can just talk and without intention, and you can see the difference of when you're doing an intention and the healing energy comes through, because you could just talk it and it feels different to me. So let me see here. Tukawaisana mekaya sen makuno tsitenya koto mukutuaya itikimi kito mokusho mekaya takasha mukutuwa ina nekobukutu ya tete nekopochi nakateniata utukudu mukaya wakata etawa itakamoy edagaya itakishu mukutuwa yete itakakumu kayataka utukumu kaite.
You're so cute.
They're just saying.
She's just so.
It cracks me up when because you're seeing yourself say this stuff. Right. I mean, my human self went, "Oh God." You're goofy. Yeah. But anyways, what they were just saying that we enjoy being with you guys. We appreciate you inviting us here. We thank you for having our company, and we're always here. Whenever you need help, just go ahead and ask. But I caught what my consciousness, because my eyes were open because I was just chatting.
Right. That's so funny. Oh my gosh. Hey Rob, finally you're a little late, dude.
And Bonnie, I mean, do you is there are you being a part of any other like in-person events coming up this year at all? Are you having any
oh yeah, doing the Healing Expo here in Battle Creek at the Lakeview Square Mall, and I think it's June 24th, 25th, 26th, something like that. Or it's Friday, Saturday, and Sunday if I'm getting it wrong.
Yeah, 25, 26, 27.
Yeah, 25, 26, 27. Yep. And then I'm also doing the Kalamazoo Wing Stadium, and that is in August, but I'm not sure on the date. But it's advertised. Right. So just look it up, and that's the mind body soul Wing Stadium.
Okay,
cool.
Awesome.
Yeah.
The one at the end of this month, I mean, I'm not mistaken, it's in a mall, right?
Yeah, it's in the Lakeview Square Mall. It's going to be cool.
Okay. Is it free? Do people buy tickets, or how do people get in? Because I know with it being a mall, it's a little different than.
You have to call. You have to get a hold of Sadie and click on her website for the Healing Expo, and the tickets and everything that you need to do is there. I'm not sure if you have to buy tickets to get in.
Right. I thought it was free, but you probably need a ticket just to keep track of things. But I thought I saw it was free on the actual event page.
Yeah. You have to buy tickets for the classes, but I'm not sure about getting in.
Right.
Gotcha.
I'll have to ask. Yeah.
That's cool.
You could go to her. She has a Facebook page. It's the Healing Expo in Battle Creek. And you can look that up, and then you can find all the information there. She has it all there.
Nice.
Nice. Cool. Very nice. Well, that's exciting. Yeah. I learned a lot today.
Yeah, it was fun.
Yeah.
It was great.
But that was fun.
Yeah. I did. I learned a lot today.
Oh my gosh. And so Bonnie, what I guess, because I know we're got about less than 6 minutes or so, but if and just to kind of give obviously you gave us some samples of in messages there, now if somebody was coming to you to heal something, for instance, or what would a typical session, be like, especially if they did want the light language, being involved or whatnot, just to give everybody a little bit of an idea.
Yeah. Well, at first we do like an intake and we find out what it is we need to work with.
Mm-hmm.
Whether you need hypnotherapy because you have, problems and things that you need to, like, like smoking or stuff like that, cessations, things like that. Or if it's emotional, we talk about that. I also talk to them and explain to them what light language is. And if they choose they don't want that, then it's okay. I don't do that. Mm-hmm. But we also will go into, if they're interested, into the Akashic records and see where that whatever problem it is started. Because if it's a phobia, it could be that you were oft in some way, murdered in some way that you just can't let go of. And so we go in there and find out what it is and then release that energy.
I'm wondering if my bear phobia is that problem. Maybe I was eaten by a bear one time. They saw a bear right across the street from my property when I was up there the day before. Yeah, I don't like bears at all. Like, I'm terrified of bears.
Yeah, me too. But anyway, so yeah, you could do a healing that way, or you just might need coaching because you just are stuck and want to move forward, or I could give you tips and tools of how to release things, just depending on what the person needs. I mean, if they're awakening and they need to, they want to find a way to bring more light in and to help them with their shadow work, then I might suggest Reiki, because learning Reiki really helps you release a lot of energies and helps you really move forward on your path. So it's like a whole leather of things.
Yes.
Good.
Talking and figure it out.
Right.
Yeah. Good.
Which is a great thing to do. Right. I mean, obviously there's, everybody's got different situations and things that they're going through. So, I mean, nothing's ever a true cookie cutter approach, So.
Yeah. I've had people say they don't know how to meditate. They don't know they can't do that. And they want to learn how to do that. So then I can do that. I can teach you how to go in and how to move into that state so that you can do the healing work. So I've done that before. And also I do mentorship too, if people are trying to move along on their path,
Nice. Very, very nice.
And then I know you do, you've been doing a lot of YouTube videos, and a lot of them have been, I think a few of them have been like sort of like tutorial kind of ones and things like that. Am I right?
Well, I do meditate, the weekly meditations that I do, that I put them up on my YouTube. So I do have a YouTube where you can do healing meditations, the light language is in it. There's some that doesn't have it, but most of it has the light language in. Okay. And I am working on, you must be intuitively getting that, but I am working on classes and stuff that I'm going to be putting up on the Divine Ray. That's another place you can find me at.
Yeah.
So,
my goodness. Yeah. You get around, lady.
I think I've been doing this since, oh my gosh, my 20s, and I'm about to be June 30th. I'll be 56. So
wow.
Got just a little bit of time in.
You've been doing it.
Just a little bit of time in.
Yeah.
She may know something.
Well, but you don't know anything really, because you're learning.
I know.
So
but I mean, that's amazing in itself. I mean, just with so many years and so many things that you've completely seen and been able to develop, and I sometimes wish that I wouldn't have been able. I was made aware of this a lot earlier in my life, because I can only imagine where I would be now. But when it was presented, it was when it was presented. So I mean, I can't complain. I mean, I could be wishful and thinking way back, hey, could we done this in high school or something? But it's okay. I'm all right.
I mean, like, I think it's all in divine timing, because I mean, like, all of the gifts I came in with, I had to close them all down because I can understand them, didn't have anybody to teach me about them.
Right.
So I still have phobias of that too, because I can do mediumship, but it's not my favorite thing, because I remember them showing up all the time, scaring me to death.
Sure.
Yeah.
But
Totally.
but I mean, I know that you have, you're sovereign, and you can say when and all that.
Right.
But being a kid, I didn't know that, and I was like, oh, what is this?
Yeah. I mean, I guess in some way, but it being early on, it kind of at least puts some sort of memory in place, because maybe, it's going to come back to assist you later on, which, obviously has, because you got a taste of things, even though it wasn't the best of situations. But, now you've moved forward and you've been able to really do a lot of, beautiful things and helping people. And that's obviously, something you're very passionate in, and that's always a blessing.
I do have good memories though, because I remember communicating with the fairies, and I did do light language when I was a child, because I would sing with the fairies, but I didn't know that's what I was doing. I was just playing.
Jennifer.
A little late there, Jen.
Yeah, Jen.
Just as the episode is ending,
Right
Jen.
now. Bye.
Jen.
I know. Goodness. Hello. Goodbye.
Yeah, exactly.
Love you.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, my cup is green.
Isn't that cool? She's got light language all over her cup.
I do.
How cool is that?
Yeah, right? I didn't even realize that.
Yeah, you could just, cover your whole face. Perfect. Don't move.
I'm not.
Wow.
There you go. That's light language, people.
There it is. See, we could have did that earlier.
Why didn't we? What were we
I
doing?
didn't know we could do it.
Now we got to get green, green cups, and we're going to hold them up.
Yeah, no kidding.
Get out of the way. Here, you guys can see the stairway to the heavens.
There you go. That's cool. That's cool.
But awesome. Oh my gosh, this was awesome. Bonnie, thank you so much. It was
I really thank you guys for having me. It's lots of fun.
This was great. I mean, to be able to share, what, the light language, and then obviously a lot of the things that you do, as well. And I think, everybody's gonna be thinking about this one. I know I still will be, because it's just so cool.
I have things going on in my brain. It's really weird now.
Well, if you have any questions, you know where to find me.
Yep.
Don't worry, I'll be finding you. I'll be like,
finding you. You'll probably be waking up in your sleep, yabbering away.
Right. I'll be like, Bonnie, why am I doing this with clay right now? What is happening here? Yeah, that's all I need.
I think it's gonna be great. Wait, the best part would be if you wake up and you start saying things. We'll say gibberish. We'll just say it that way. Mark's gonna look over, going, "What the?
What now?
What
are you saying?
That's
you
what
being possessed right now?"
Right.
My husband's like, "What are you getting onto now?" Oh my god.
Yeah.
Here's me. Well, because when you're in the shower, it seems like the water, you connect with the water, and you just end up letting it rip because it's coming through.
Yeah.
And he's probably thinking, "What in the heck is she doing?"
Hey, that's Debbie's thing. Debbie gets messages in the shower all the time. So this would just be another. Just go ahead. I'm in here. Let's start talking.
Let's go.
Yeah.
He said to me one time, it sounds Mayan or something. I go, I don't know.
Oh, I mean, Mayan, that's not so bad. It's not so bad. So. Oh, you guys. Well, thank you guys, everybody, for joining us. It was so fun today.
Yeah, it was lots of fun.
But cool.
Really fun.
So again, thank you so much, Bonnie. We appreciate it. Definitely go check her out, and hit her up if you guys have any questions, and watch a lot of the other shows and YouTube stuff that she is involved with. You will not be disappointed.
Correct.
And other than that, we're going to get out of here because, we're tired now because we've just picked up on a lot of things, and we just need to go lay down, even though it's probably still a little early, but we'll make the best out of it and, crawl into bed, see if we can make it to the bed in time.
Yeah. So. Stop it. You're going to make me yawn.
You have spirits talking to you in your sleep tonight.
Oh, no. No more.
Yeah, that's great. Debbie's going to be hitting me up in the morning. What the hell?
I know. And here is my conversation. I might as well record my sleep.
Right. Just have your phone ready, get it on voice, memo set, and then you just wake up, hit record, and let's see what happens.
There you go.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Oh, man.
Absolutely not going to happen tonight.
Okay.
I remember the first time I did it, I recorded it. And, well, not the first time, but when I could get to where I recorded it. And first thing I did was send it over to Rob and Nicole. And I go, what the hell is this? I start cracking up.
Oh, my God.
It's my language.
Oh, really? Glad somebody knows.
Oh,
I had a feeling that's what it was, but I was like shocked by it.
That's so
funny.
cool. That's even neat. That's pretty cool to get
And
like that to record it.
Closet forever. It takes you forever to actually do it in front of people.
Right.
Right. No kidding. Okay, let's get out of here.
Cool. All right. Okay, guys, we are out of here, and we will definitely be talking with you, seeing you, something of some sort next time. Right.
Right.
On the other side.
So,
be there.
Right. Thank you, Bonnie. Thank you, Debbie.
Thank you, Adam and Bonnie.
Yes. So thank you guys for watching and tuning in. You guys have been watching Adam and Debbie. We are Beyond the Silence, and we will see you again next time. Good night.
Good night.